Hello everyone, this is Talk Time with Cynthia. I'm coming today. I'm going to be reading from my book again today. The Black Tax, The Cost of Being Black in America. Okay? And this is a continuation of it. And today we're going to be talking about, first of all, I want to say thank you guys for tuning in to my channel. I appreciate it so much. And I also want to say, this isn't about racism and digging up dandruff and wanting to create a situation of frustration and divide. This is about figuring out how we got where we are. So it's going to be some touchy things that I'm going to read, but you got to look past that and just really take it for, okay, this is what happened or what happens, what happened in the past, what happens in the present, and then what the future could hold if we grasp a hold of the information that is given, right? So, and that's the attempt on this. I'm attempting to give out information that will help us to figure out how we got where we are so we can get to where we're going, right? So don't take it as I'm trying to point fingers at different races or whatever, but what we're trying to do, because some of the stuff is like conscious, of course, we know that, and then unconscious. So sometimes even in every race we do things that unconsciously we don't realize that we're doing, right? So that's what we got to figure out, right? And then of course some things are conscious and people do things and they know that they do them, and hopefully pointing out some of this stuff will give us a change of heart, right? That's my hope. That's what I'm using my platform for, is to try to bring us together on whatever level, whether it be putting a mirror in front of each other, me, you, or whoever, putting a mirror in front of us and let us see maybe ourselves or see us in a way we never saw ourselves before. So, okay, so without further ado, I'm going to go ahead and start reading. And I'm going to be looking over this way because, the book is over there. So, and then sometimes I might change it over this way. So, and let's get on with it. Okay. Oh, and another thing, I realize a lot of people don't listen to my videos. Like a whole lot of people don't listen to my videos to the end. So I like to say up front, thank you so much, as I said, for hanging out. Don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my video. Give me thumbs up if you like it. If you give me thumbs down, let me know why, and maybe we can improve on the video or whatever. Don't forget to hit the notification bell. And that way you'll get my videos whenever I upload. You'll be notified. So, and if you hit the bell, and then you can say sometimes, all times, or whatever, you'll see 3 different selections, and you can select either the one up top, which you'll get them all the time, or then you'll get them just specific ones, depending on what bell you hit. And don't forget to tell your family and friends what your girl Cindy's doing, because we try to keep it popping over here on the positive side. Y'all know how we do it, right? And I just want to say thank you to my prescribers and my viewers, and and I just want you guys to know how much I appreciate you. Okay, so now we get started. And this title within the book is black tax in the automotive market, right? So it says, and you guys, I have like this really bad sinus. So you'll hear me clear my throat, and which I hate that, and I do apologize. I am so sorry. But I don't know. I have like pine trees. If you see my video before this one, I have pine trees, and they give off like a thick yellow pollen. And so around this time of the year, I'm usually like really, really congested, or just always clearing my throat, and I do apologize for that in advance. But I'll try not to, out of respect. So it says black tax in the automotive market. Economists Ian Ayers and Peter Siegelman conducted a study to understand if there are differences in how dealerships treat potential car buyers of different races. The study focused on the negotiating process associated with 300 potential car purchases in the Chicago area. What they found was the dealers offered black male testers significantly higher prices than white male testers, even when the testers used identical bargaining strategies. As a matter of fact, the salesmen gave white buyers an initial price that was 43% lower than the initial price they gave black male buyers before any negotiations took place. To be clear, the final price that was negotiated by black buyers was higher than the initial price given to white buyers before the white buyers even began negotiating. At the end of the negotiations, black male buyers wound up paying an average of $1,100 more than their white male counterparts. Potential black buyers also paid higher prices in white suburbs than in the inner city. The researchers had a tough time accounting for the difference in pricing, and speculated that perhaps the salesmen thought that white buyers were more informed about the profit margin than black buyers, and just volunteered more of a price break to the white buyers. Given that anyone who needs a car will likely buy at least 7 of them over the course of his or her life, there is a significant opportunity for black buyers to incur astounding incremental costs, while white buyers receive incredible unearned benefits. Since cars, like homes, are big ticket items that few people can afford to buy outright, most people will find most people will need financing. The National Consumer Law Center looked at millions of auto loans nationwide from the 1900s and 2000s to investigate the existence of race-based discrepancies within the auto financing market. Their study found while widespread racial disparities unrelated to credit risk in the markup added by auto dealers to a borrower's auto loan rate. What many customers don't know is that auto dealerships are often given discretion to mark up interest rates on auto loans before passing them on to their customers. This means the dealer can increase your interest rate solely at their discretion, which increases their profit margin, and they're under no obligation to tell you about it. So we all learning some stuff, right? so we know. Okay, the study also found statistically significant markups on auto loans for African Americans in every state and every region of the country where there was data. The markups for black borrowers range from 110% to 454% over the markup given to white borrowers with the same credit risk. Think about it this way. The financing company might tell the auto dealer that they are willing to finance your purchase with a 5% APR, but the dealer marks it up to 5.5% and tell you that your rate is 5.5%. And that's the best they can do while giving a white borrower with the same credit risk a 5% interest rate. Unless you have additional information. So informed decisions is the best. Okay, so I'm still saying that personally myself. It says unless you have additional information, you'll assume that they are doing all they can to get you the best rate, and you turning the page might take it. Why? Cars are very emotional, and this is why. Cars are very emotional purchases that can affect how, I don't know why I keep saying who, how friends, peers, associates, and society at large might perceive you rather. And when you mix emotion and like of information with the buying process for expensive items, it becomes easy to get taken advantage of and not even know it. Discriminatory markups can cause black buyers and additional 400 to 500 per year. As we have seen with the black tax in the real estate market, if the researchers are correct, we should also be able to quantify the effects of discriminatory practices in the marketplace. Below is a list of auto companies that have been sued by the Justice Department for charging black automotive borrowers higher rates than their white counterparts with similar credit risk. Okay. Okay, so 2016, Toyota sued Justice Justice Department, paid 22 million, right? And so okay, so number one, dealers charge black buyers 0.27% more interest than whites with similar credit risk. Okay, so 2014, Honda sued by Justice Department, paid 24 million. Okay, and then it says dealers charged black buyers more interest than whites with similar credit risk. And then 2013, Ally, is it Ally or Ally? ALLY Financial, formerly GMAC, sued by Justice Department. Wow, paid 98 million, right? So and then it says dealers charge black buyers 0.25% more interest than whites with similar credit risk. 235 car buyers who were overcharged. Then it says 2015, Fifth Third Bank sued by Justice Department, paid 18 million. Okay. Banks charged black and Hispanic buyers more interest than whites with similar credit risk. 24,500 car buyers were overcharged. Okay, that's some interesting information, if nothing else, right, guys? Then it says, in the list above, GMCA's currently Ally Financial, or either Ally, I think it's Ally Financial, transgressions were particularly egregious. A study by Vanderbilt business performer Mark Cohen found that black buyers from GMAC paid an average of $1,229 in extra interest over the life of a loan, compared with the average of $867 paid by white, 42% more. The discrepancies were so widespread that even black General Motors employees paid more than their white counterparts to get a loan. In addition to higher comparative interest rate, black consumers are also less likely to be offered preferential interest rates. Black college graduates were also less likely to be offered below market interest rate on car loans for recent college graduates. Cohen's report claims that GMAC borrowers were charged a total of $421.6 million in subjective markups, and nearly 20% was paid by blacks, even though they were only 8.5% of GMAC borrowers. Okay, and so the next title we're going to read under is going to be Black Tax in the Auto Insurance Market. So let's see where we go with that, right? So it says, let's assume that you've purchased a car and have avoided those additional discriminatory costs. By law, you would need automotive. Let me read that again, y'all. By law, you will need automobile insurance, which is a substantial annual cost for most drivers. Okay. Let's see what researchers have to say about discrimination in the auto insurance market. A 2015 report released by the Consumer Federation of America found that a female driver with a perfect driving record could pay significantly more for car insurance if she lives in a predominantly African American community rather than a mostly white one, even when all other factors are equal. The report also found that the driver was charged 77% more if the community was a predominantly African American, low income neighborhood as opposed to a predominantly white low income neighborhood. If, on the other hand, the driver lives in an upper middle income predominantly black neighborhood, she was charged 194% more than the community. If the community was predominantly white. The findings from this study indicate that even though the driver has a perfect driving record, her cost, will increase dramatically depending on the amount of black people that live around her, regardless of the economic status of the community. This is an extraordinary financial burden placed on black people who live in predominantly black communities and the non-black car owners who also live in those communities. Let's run the numbers. Research indicates that if you are black, you are more likely to pay, number one, a higher purchase price, number two, a higher financing cost, and number three, higher insurance premiums, even if you have a perfect driving record but live in a black community. Since more people will own at least 7 cars over their lifetimes, the accumulative cost of this level of discrimination could cost up to $70,000 over the course of a lifetime. Given the black Americans purchase or lease about 5 million cars per year, the aggregate cost could be substantial. $1,200 average increase in purchase price could cost black Americans up to $5.5 billion per year. And additional $500 of interest per year could cost up to 2.5 billion per year of incremental interest costs. An additional 500 of insurance premium per year could cost up to 2.5 billion per year of incremental insurance costs. Taken as a whole, this could cost African Americans up to 10 billion per year in incremental automotive costs. Think about the discriminatory financial fees being levied against African Americans through higher purchase prices, higher financing costs, and higher insurance costs. This is a black tax of epic proportions, which significantly reduces Black America's ability to leave a legacy for their children's children. I always point that out, right? Because everybody want to leave a legacy, so it's only fair that if one person gets to, then we all should get to. And then, so now we're going to read, and this is going to be the last for this video. Then we're going to read Black Tax in Online Commerce, right? So there is clearly a black tax within the pillars of the American dream, which are the housing and automotive markets. But what about the new frontier of online commerce? Well, researchers from Harvard's Business School had the same question, so they conducted a study in 2014 to get a sense of the extent to which discrimination is present in online commerce. Okay, so I just want to say, I'm giving you information, but I also look to you guys to do your own research. So you never take somebody's word for something. You always take the information you're given and go research it yourself, right? So, okay, so that's what I want to say about that. They look at Airbnb, which is an online company that allows people to rent out their homes or rooms within their homes to various travelers. Airbnb provides an alternative to staying at a hotel. If you have a room available, you can post it on the site. People who are looking for a room in your area can then rent it from you. It's a very innovative idea, and the service is available in the United States and in many other countries. The researchers found that black hosts on Airbnb got significantly lower rates than non-black hosts, even with comparable locations, rooms, and amenities. In fact, for comparable offerings, black hosts got an average rate of $107, while non-black hosts got an average rate of $144. This amount to a 35% differential in, turn the page, and price, which is huge. But why would there be such a difference in price? Even if renters do have a bias, what would cause it to emerge? While it turns out that Airbnb requires people who are renting rooms or homes to create a profile with their picture. The profile picture makes potential renters aware of the owner's race and allows conscious and unconscious bias to manifest in the pricing differential. Researchers also create 20 user profiles and sent rental requests to roughly 6,400 hosts. Rental requests with black sounding names were 16% less likely to be accepted than those with white sounding names. The discrimination was pervasive and occurred whether blacks were buyers or sellers of rental space. Occurred with cheap listings and expensive ones in diverse neighborhoods and homogeneous ones in rooms in the host's own dwelling and in separate units rented out by landlords with multiple listings. This tax appeared to exist whenever people with anti-black biases because with people with anti-black bias because became aware that the person they were dealing with is African American. Researchers found from Harvard and Yale Law School also conducted a study to better understand the extent to which discrimination plays a role in certain aspects of online commerce. The researchers were quite clever and looked at the value that buyers placed on baseball cards in an eBay online auction. This auction format was well suited to isolating racial effects because the potential buyers did not have information on the appearance or socio-economic background of the sellers. The researchers found that baseball cards from African American sellers were offered a price that was 20% lower than the same card that were being sold by white sellers. That's right, the same card received a substantially different offer. But why would this happen? If buyers were discriminating, what would trigger it? Okay, research shows that when the buyer looked at the picture of the baseball card, he or she could see the fingers of the seller holding the card. In some instances, buyers saw the same baseball card being held by black fingers, and in other instances, the same card was being held by white fingers. The skin color of the fingers allowed anti-black bias to be triggered, and it was expressed in the form of lower prices for black sellers. Think deeply about that, and the mere presence of black skin in the photo led to a lower value for the item. Okay, guys, So we're done with this video. So I think that gives you a little bit to think about. So the next video is going to be on black text in the job search. Okay. So, but yeah, so that, I think that gives you something to think on, right? And whether you were a victim to it, or I don't like to use victim, a recipient of it, or were you the actual person that unconsciously or consciously created the situation? So anyway, so thank you guys so much for hanging out with me, and I love you guys. I love you so much. And I just want to say thank you to my subscribers and my viewers. And don't forget to comment, like, and subscribe to my video. Like I said, comment down below if there's questions that you have or something that you don't understand. And if you want me to help you to figure it out from my point of view, or just from a different point of view, or whatever, I can do that, or we could do that together. Don't forget to hit the notification bell down below. That way you get all of my videos, get notified whenever I upload my videos. So you got that. And don't forget to tell your family and your friends what your girl Cindy is doing, because we try to keep it popping over here on the positive side. No negativity. We don't want none of that on our site. That's not where we're going with this. We just want to be able to connect on every level, if we can, with one another. Black, white, Korean, Puerto Rican, Asian, whatever. We just want to be able to just connect, more of us connecting. And, I'm not so naive to think that we all going to come together and it's going to be like a whole kumbaya moment. But I'm just saying we can do our part to make the world a better place. We can do that. So please, just tune in, continue to tune in. Don't get frustrated over the information. Let's get to the end of this book, and then it'll be better at the way we handle one another and be able to reach across the great divide, because it's just so much sadness and so much stuff going on in our in the world, in our community, in our cities, and in our states, and in our towns, and in our nation. So let's just try to make a difference, y'all, because it's time for some happiness, right? It's time for some beautiful relationships to be built. So anyway, and y'all stay safe from the coronavirus. Please, when you go out, make sure you cover your face, wear gloves, and then practice social distancing. Because nobody wants to be the one to lose a loved one. So regardless of what our government is saying or the media, we within our community have to make sure we do our part, and that's what I think. But we're better than the media tried to portray us to be. We are not so at odds with one another like we see in the media. There's good people everywhere, good people just everywhere. And so hopefully people will start listening at the end of my videos. So I try to do this at the beginning of the videos too, but so that we know, just because we see that going on in the media, that doesn't mean that's who we are. We are loving, we are kind, we are wonderful people. That's who we are. Everybody have a little sprinkle of weeds in the garden, but for the most part, we are all beautiful flowers blooming and becoming who we are supposed to become, right? All right, love you guys. Talk to you later. Bye.